Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Saturday, May 8th. We're going to be talking about some NBA DFS picks on both DraftKings and FanDuel. But before we get started, we're going to take a quick look back at yesterday's picks and see how they turned out. So we said we were going to try to do a lot better yesterday, and we did. So this was actually a perfect 10 for 10 day. On the DraftKings side, we had Armani Brooks, $3,900, got to 40.75 points, so he was 10 times value there. DeLon Wright, $6,800. We're looking for 34 points out of him. Got to 37.75. Then James Johnson, looking for 16, 17 points out of him. He got to 20. Jared Vanderbilt, looking for 16, 17 points out of him. Got to 37.25 on the DraftKings side, so he was ahead as well. And then the worst one of the day on the DraftKings side was Dwight Powell. $3,700, looking for 18, 19 points out of him. Got to 18.5, so he was exactly 5 times value. So very solid day overall on the DraftKings side. Then on the FanDuel side, we also had DeLon Wright. $7,000, we were looking for 35 points out of him. Got to 37.9, so that was a hit, obviously. Then we had Armani Brooks, $3,800. Got to 40.6, so he's over 10 times value there. Anthony Lamb, $3,500, looking for 17, 18 points out of him. Got to 25.8. Then we had Jared Vanderbilt, $3,600. Ended up with 43.7 points on the FanDuel side, so over 10 times value there. And then last but not least on the FanDuel side was Mo Bamba, $6,700. Looking for 35 points out of him, but got 47.1. So like I said, overall, very, very good day, 10 for 10. Just ran through it real quick since didn't need to say hits and misses since they were hits yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get over to today's games and look at the injuries in play. So this is a 7-game slate, and it's a really interesting 7-game slate because there's 3 early games, 2 of them 7 o'clock, 1 7:30, and then the rest are all 10 o'clock games. So it would not be a bad day to play the late night if you want to do that because there's 4 games on the schedule for it. But we'll get into these injuries. So Washington Wizards say they're all the way healthy now. The Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner and Sampson are both out still. Sumner, Lamb, and Brogdon are all game time decisions. I believe they all missed the last time out. Then for the Detroit Pistons, some of these guys might end up playing today, so we'll just have to see how that pans out. But Dennis Smith Jr., Rodney McGruder, Josh Jackson, Hamidou Diallo are all listed as out. Corey Joseph, Jeremy Grant, and Wayne Ellington all listed as game time decisions. We'll have to see what this looks like closer to lock time. Apparently Mason Plumlee is going to be back and playing today. Thought they were just trying to tank, but we'll just have to see what happens, honestly, because who knows. Then we get over to the 76ers. Korkmaz is a game time decision. We'll see if he's back today or not. For the Memphis Grizzlies, McDermott and Allen are both out in this game. Desmond Bane did draw the start last time, so I guess he does the same today. You could try Melton, but you know how that turned out the last time we tried that when Grayson Allen was out. It just didn't quite work out for us. Then for the Toronto Raptors, missing a lot of bodies today. Paul Watson, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Chris Boucher, OG Anunoby, and Watanabe's looking like he's not going to play either. So you're looking at some value here. It could be Malachi Flynn, Gary Trent, Pascal Siakam, maybe even Khem Birch. Then we get down to all these 10 o'clock games. For the Brooklyn Nets, just Tuwuza and Harden out once again. For the Nuggets, Dozier's out. Najee, game time decision. Morris and Barton are both game time decisions, looking like they have a chance to play, but we'll just have to see it before we kind of write it in as they're playing. Then we get down to Oklahoma City Thunder, essentially the same as yesterday. Muscala and Pokusevski out. Dort game time decision. Golden State Warriors is exactly the same as the last time out, with Lee, Oubre, and Pichel out once again. Spurs just have Trey Lyles out. Trailblazers just have Zach Collins out. Houston Rockets, this is kind of like earlier when we were talking about the Pistons, because David Nwaba's out. Everybody else is kind of a game time decision, so we're just honestly going to have to see what this looks like throughout the day. Then for the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell's still out. Azubuike looks like he's not listed on the injury anymore. Morgan, game time decision. And then Mike Conley is a game time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. I will mention here that they don't have Joe Ingles in the lineup. I assume if Mike Conley plays, Joe Ingles plays at that shooting guard position, and Niang goes back to the bench, though. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today's slate. Like I said, should be a pretty interesting slate overall. A lot of things that we're looking out for today. But with that being said, we'll get over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. At point guard position, we got Malachi Flynn. Talked about all those Toronto Raptors being out today, $4,700. We're looking for 23, 24 points out of him. we've seen what he can do, when there's no Kyle Lowry, there's no Fred VanVleet, guys like that. So definitely a good option today. Then his shooting guard, I went with Austin Rivers, $4,100, looking for 21 points out of him. Monte Morris and Will Barton both could be back today. One of them could be back. Neither of them could be back. So we'll just keep an eye out on this one. So Austin Rivers, that's a name that could change throughout the day. But, if none of those guys are back, he's pretty much going to be doing what he's been doing lately. Then at small forward, I got Bruce Brown, $4,000, looking for 20 points out of him, averaging just over 19.5 on the season. Kind of worked his way back slowly, but he's getting a little bit more minutes. I think 20 points is very attainable for him today. Then at the power forward position, we got Pascal Siakam, $9,000, looking for 45 points out of him. Probably a good shoe-in for 50 points today, especially, be in that main point scorer on their team. And then last but not least, center Nikola Jokic, $10,900, looking for 54, 55 points out of him, averaging 58 on the season. Goes against the Brooklyn Nets. Should be a little bit of a pace-up matchup as well, so definitely should be a solid game for him once again. But if you go with these 5 players, you'll have $17,300 left over. Just under $5,800 per player, so probably not a lot of ability to pay up for some guys, but I did give you 2 pay-up options here with Pascal Siakam and Nikola Jokic. So we could do a balanced approach here. We could find some value that comes out later in the day because there's going to be value coming out later today. I know it. Just a little bit of different options there once we find out some more information overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So point guard position, we got Malachi Flynn once again. He's $5,300 on the FanDuel side, so we're looking for about 26, 27 points out of him today. I think he probably gets to about 27, 28 points today, so pretty safe play there overall. Not a lot of great options at that point guard position, mainly guys that are priced up so far. Gary Trent, same thing for him. His teammate, $5,000. Just a lot of guys that are missing out of that lineup for $5,000. You're looking for 25 points out of him, averaging about 23 on the season. So just a slight uptick, and he's going to get there. Then a small forward, really yucky today, honestly. Not a lot of guys that projected well for me. Got Bogdan Bogdanovic coming off a massive game last night. And I'm not just trying to point chase with this one. $5,700. You're looking for about 28, 29 points out of him. That's pretty much what he's been getting lately. Goes against Houston Rockets. Should be a pretty good matchup for him overall as well. Then we move down to power forward. We got Pascal Siakam once again, $8,900, looking for 44, 45 points out of him. Averaging about 40 on the season, but like I already said on the DraftKings side, he's that main piece left in their offense. So he's going to be, that primary point scorer. Might get a couple extra assists today, so definitely a good day for him overall. Then last but not least, at the center position, we got Joel Embiid, $9,600, looking for 48 points out of him, averaging over 50.5 on the season. So pretty good price down spot for him overall. Coming off a big game last night. As long as he's playing, he should be able to dominate against this Detroit Pistons team. But if you go with these 5 players on FanDuel for today, you'll have $25,500 left over, just under $6,400 per player. So we're going to need to find some value picks today and then maybe pay up for maybe one more option. But definitely a good starting core 5 here that's going to help you out today. And then as the news comes out throughout the day, we're going to find some value picks that are going to mix and match very well with the core that we have here. But with that being said, these are my picks for today, May 8th, on both FanDuel and DraftKings. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the news, injury updates, and starting lineups down in the comments below. So definitely be sure to check out those throughout the day. And then with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It definitely helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's truly one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL. Helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, talking all the different football news this offseason. Like I've been saying, those draft grades are coming out very shortly. I plan on getting a couple of divisions hopefully out later today as well. So if that's something that you're into, definitely be sure to check those out as well. But with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I upload a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos like this, as well as some of that fantasy football and NFL draft content as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you do very well in NBA DFS tonight. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.